Your Closer to Home coverage starts now.
Hello and good morning. It's Friday, March 11th, 2016. I'm Lindsay Jobst. Meteorologist Phil Sago will have your forecast in just a moment, but first, today's headlines. New this morning, an Ohio school district is closed and all extracurricular activities canceled as authorities investigate a shooting by a 14-year-old boy that injured 4 students, including 2 who were hit by the gunfire. And listen to this, more than 100 people became sick on a cruise ship after a norovirus outbreak. Former Ohio House Speaker Larry Householder has advanced in his efforts to return to the State House. A federal judge in Massachusetts has ruled that Bill Cosby's wife must answer questions under oath in a defamation lawsuit filed by 7 women who claim Cosby sexually assaulted them decades ago. The Philo High School senior class will be hosting a memorial cystic fibrosis walk in honor of a classmate gone too soon. And the city of Zanesville wants to hear from you. This Saturday at the Muskingum County Fairgrounds from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. you can voice your questions, concerns, and opinions regarding the old Mosaic Factory and Munson School. On Monday, July 4th, the Muskingum Recreation Center will be hosting its 4th annual Red, White, and Run event. And gas prices around Ohio are down slightly from a week ago. That's good news. The state average was $2.16 in today's survey from Auto Club AAA. In other news, 3 people were killed in an early morning apartment fire near Cincinnati. Preliminary autopsy results indicate the man who attacked people with a machete in an Ohio restaurant and was shot by police died of a gunshot to the neck. Well, it's a critical time right now in the Republican race for president between Senator Ted Cruz and Donald Trump in Indiana. Katie's in now, so some parts of the area saw some rain today, but overall a hot day. When are we going to see some fall weather?
Very, very hot. It's been kind of brutal.
After nearly 8 hours, a jury has been selected in the trial of a former Muskingum University student accused of disposing her newborn baby in a trash bin. Health officials say Ohio has a second Zika virus case involving a 21-year-old Stark County man who traveled to Haiti. A second drug bust this week leads to the seizure of $50,000 in methamphetamine. Thanks, Phil. Tonight's the moment of truth for the 4 finalists on NBC's The Voice. New this morning, Newark police are investigating a shooting at an apartment in the city. The State Highway Patrol says a total of 19 people died on Ohio roadways during the recent holidays. 6 people are dead after a Michigan man goes on a shooting rampage. Ohio drivers are seeing slightly higher prices at the pump as 2015 comes to an end. And Emily joins me now. So we did see some peaks of sunshine out there today, but a little cloudy.
Yeah, definitely just, a cloudy, cooler end to the work week, but at least we saw dry conditions finally. Now, big changes are coming.
A Crooksville man is facing charges in connection to a break-in at the Southside carryout this past December. And another news tonight, on a journey to raise money for charity, one man is walking 3,800 miles across country with his pet goat. In this week's Community Close-Up, WHIZ's Brittany Clark shares the story. The city of Zanesville says your commute could include a detour beginning this morning. The Zanesville Post of the State Highway Patrol says a Zanesville man is facing several charges after an early morning chase. And warming up your car during the colder months is a daily routine for most of us, but you're actually breaking the law each time you leave it running. Zanesville police say they're investigating the discovery of a body over the weekend. A Cleveland police officer cleared in the fatal shooting of 2 people has accepted a plea deal for a reduced charge in a fight with his twin brother 4 days after his trial ended. All right, Emily, thanks. It was day 2 of the trial of a former Muskingum University student charged in the death of her newborn baby. Opening statements were given this morning in the aggravated murder trial of 21-year-old Emily Weaver of Clarington. Investigators are looking into the possibility of a Mexican drug cartel connection to the mass shootings in Pike County, and it's a group familiar to local law enforcement. And Ohio officials are gathering to discuss the state's readiness for handling Zika virus scenarios ahead of the mosquito season that begins in May. The Coshocton County Sheriff's Office says one man has been charged in connection with a shooting in Coshocton. Authorities say a man shot an Ohio police officer before he was found dead in his car from a gunshot wound. And Governor John Kasich has landed the endorsement of Ohio State football coach Urban Meyer. Welcome back to Sunrise on this Wednesday morning. I'm Lindsay Jobst.
And I'm Phil Sago.
So we may need the winter coat and possibly the umbrella today.
Yeah, looking at the winter jackets, at least necessary this morning. Probably will need them through the majority of the day as well.
Great, Phil. Thank you. And that is all from us for today. Tune in to Live at Noon for more news and weather updates. Have a great day.
A man is in custody tonight following a standoff with police in what began as a hostage situation involving 2 victims this afternoon. WHIZ's Lindsay Jobst was there and has more on this developing story.
Miller of the Zanesville Police Department says that around 11 o'clock this morning, Zanesville police were called to a home at the 1200 block of Devon Street for reports of a possible hostage situation involving an armed male suspect and 2 victims, a male and female. Police and special response units surrounded the house in a standoff that lasted for more than 3 hours. A police negotiator was on scene, and around 12:30 p.m., the 2 victims were released from the home and taken to Genesis Hospital with minor injuries. The special response team deployed tear gas before finally entering the home to capture the suspect, who willingly surrendered to police around 2:30 p.m.
Well, obviously the outcome was very favorable all the way around. You know, once we had the hostages out, then time was on our side, so we tried every avenue that we could.
No names are being released at this time, but Miller says the incident appears to be related to a drive-by shooting that occurred near Shinnick and Orchard Streets last night, but that has yet to be confirmed. The Muskingum County Sheriff's Office, the Zanesville Fire Department, and the Ohio State Highway Patrol all assisted at the scene. Now that the situation is under control here, we will bring you more details on this story as it unfolds. Reporting on Devon Street, for WHIZ News, I'm Lindsay Jobst.
Tourism's down this summer at one of Ohio's most popular fishing destinations, causing one business owner to close up shop. WHIZ's Lindsay Jobst has the story.
Many businesses surrounding Buckeye Lake are suffering this season as low water levels are keeping both fishermen and tourists away.
Well, the lake, when they come out on it, the publicity was that most of it was drained. So everybody that comes out here thinks, well, our lake is drained. But they come out and they see water. They go, oh my, I didn't know you had that much water.
Jim McKittrick has owned Millersport Deli and Bait for years.
We get a lot of people come out of the cities to go fishing and boating.
This season's decline in business forced McKittrick to close his bait and tackle shop for the first time in 44 years.
The bait shop is totally closed down. We do have bait and tackle here, but not like we was running it.
McKittrick still sells bait at his deli and drive-thru, but only what's left of it. His bait and tackle shop has been open since 1971, and he says he's never seen a downfall quite like this.
Our busy time starts on Memorial Day, and it runs through July 4th, and after July 4th it starts to go down a little bit, and then into the winter months. So we have to make our money between them to get through the winter. And without that money there, it's going to be very hard. You know, for anybody out, any business out here to survive, it's going to be a miracle.
Water levels may be low at the lake, but McKittrick says the fish are biting, and those who do come out are taking advantage.
Fishing has been real well out here because the fish has got little space to move around in, and they catch a lot of fish. But with the problem with the act like if it's drained, nobody's coming out.
Sockeye and striped bass are some of the popular catches, and as summer slowly comes to an end, McKittrick says he hopes to see an increase in business during the winter months for ice fishing.
Well, we're open. That's the main thing. We are open, and come on out and go fishing, you know. As the water temperature cools down out here, fishing's going to get a lot better.
Work is already underway to rebuild the deteriorated earthen dam, which is expected to be completed by 2019.
The lake will be a very beautiful lake when they get it done. It's just being able to hold on that long.
For WHIZ News, I'm Lindsay Jobst.